It defies all reason. It makes no sense at all.
Sharon and Michael Moran hate to relive the day their two grandchildren were taken away by police.
We could hear them yelling and crying in the background, and we're crying. And
it's been a year and a half since they've seen those little boys.
But, it's the first time I ever really saw my dad cry. It crushed them.
That's how long it's been since their mom has seen them too.
And I love you so much, and I'm fighting every single day to see you again. Every day I'm fighting.
The Leyva boys were both born in the state of Virginia. Their dad was stationed in the Virginia National Guard, but he wanted to take Sarah and the boys back to Texas.
Nick was only in Texas for 6 months with us when he filed for a divorce. He changed the locks on our house. He cut me off from all of our finances.
The divorce decree makes it pretty clear that Sarah needed to go back to the court if she wanted to move out of Birdville ISD. But then it says Sarah had the right, as the primary parent, to determine where the kids lived. And this paragraph gave Sarah permission to leave Birdville ISD if she wanted to, a trade she said she made with her husband so he could keep all his military benefits.
It stated that I can move the children at any time for the purpose of moving jurisdiction. But specifically, it was written there so I could go back home where we had had our entire lives.
Tarrant County court records show Sarah entered the change of address to Virginia. And for the next few years, Sarah's boys, Josh and Sammy, grew up in Virginia, where they were born. That's where they went to school, made friends. Their father dropped a lawsuit challenging the move, but a few years later filed a new one, and the fight was on. Leyva appealed to Virginia courts to help her, but they wouldn't. Even if the move to Texas was part of the master plan, Texas courts would prevail. And that spelled trouble for Sarah Leyva, because she would eventually end up before a Tarrant County judge we've highlighted before, Judge Judith Wells, attacked in the documentary Divorce Court for her unethical relationships with lawyers.
Family court results in more violence than any other area of law.
Deaths, suicide, murder.
Just the one biased judge. The attorneys representing my ex-husband were also large campaign contributors to the judge in our case.
So it's not the best thing, but it does happen.
Tarrant County has brought us a fountain of complaints about family injustice. And Wells, well, she's been the star of the show.
Why would I bring my children to Texas when it was so blatantly obvious they had no intention of upholding the law?
What followed was 2 more years of litigation. Sarah would eventually become her own lawyer, a recipe for disaster in family courts across the country. Judges may say they don't care, but they don't like it, regardless what the Constitution says.
Oh, it was 100% bias. I think anybody who looks through my records will see that pretty clearly.
Sarah did return to Texas for an enforcement hearing in Judge Wells' court. She was handcuffed, and police in Virginia then went to her parents' house to get the kids.
The children were safe in their home, and I've literally never seen them again. I've never gotten to hold my babies again, and so I know they felt a lot of guilt about that.
We just, love being grandma and grandpa.
Leyva's now been punished by the court for her posts on Facebook. It's increasingly become an issue. Judges telling parents they aren't allowed to talk about their custody cases or their ex-spouses. Leyva defied the order.
if you don't tell your story, it gets buried and nobody sees it. It's very easy to blame the little person. And all the lies and everything coming out about my daughter, there's no other voice for her.
Judge Wells has now declared Sarah what they call a vexatious litigant, which means she can't file any more motions without the judge's okay. And you know what that means. Her boys are back in Texas, leaving a lot of broken hearts in Virginia.
We love you and we miss you greatly, and your mom loves you. We all are fighting as hard as we can to see you again. We love you.